Hi, Gregory Klump here, Chief Economist with the Canadian Real Estate Association with CREA's revised forecast for home sales and average price. Before I get into the forecast, let me just stress that the national forecast should not be interpreted as being for any particular local market, but rather the overall picture on a national level. With that important proviso out of the way, let's dive into CREA's revised national housing market forecast for 2012 and 2013. Each quarter, CREA revises its forecast to take into account new housing market data and changes to the outlook for interest rates and the broader economy. With low interest rates keeping homeownership affordable and within reach for many buyers, national activity over spring months came in stronger than anticipated, and that's boosted CREA's forecast. Remember when, in March, CREA forecast generally stable sales activity in 2012, with growth in Alberta and Saskatchewan offsetting slight sales declines in British Columbia and Ontario? Well, much of that has been playing out, although Ontario continues to surprise. CREA's revised forecast reflects a stronger than expected acceleration in sales activity in Alberta and Saskatchewan, a slightly faster than anticipated slowdown in British Columbia, and continued buoyancy in Ontario sales activity, specifically in Greater Toronto. New listings there were expected to rise, and they have, but the increase has so far not kept pace with stronger than expected demand. As a result, the balance between supply and demand for homes on the market remains tight, and that's reflected by recent average price gains in Greater Toronto. Greater Toronto makes up half of Ontario's activity, so continued housing market tightness there has pushed up forecast sales activity and average price for Ontario. National housing activity is now forecast to reach 475,800 units in 2012, which is an increase of 3.8% from 2011. Sales in 2013 are now forecast to decline by 1.1% to 470,200 units. This is a larger percentage decline than was previously forecast, but nonetheless leaves the annual sales level in 2013 slightly above our previous forecast. Activity next year is expected to decline most sharply in Ontario, reflecting a return from currently elevated levels. CREA had previously forecast that sales in 2012 and 2013 would be roughly on par with the 10-year average for annual activity. The updated forecast now predicts activity slightly above that level. The national average home price is forecast to rise by 2.2% to $370,700 in 2012. This is an upward revision from our previous forecast for a 1.1% decline. The upward revision reflects stronger than expected price growth to date and the impact on national statistics from changes to provincial sales forecasts. The national average price is also forecast to rise modestly in 2013, edging up 2% to $378,200. The takeaway is that CREA's forecast for annual activity this year has been boosted by what's already in the rearview mirror. Activity is still expected to recede, but from a higher level than was previously anticipated. The pace for interest rate increases next year is expected to be very slow and gradual, so combined with further job growth, Canada's housing market should remain resilient. I'll be back soon with more news about home sales over Canadian MLS systems, so stay tuned.